Have you ever wanted to say something to someone and have them say something back? Welcome to Candid Conversations. Let's chat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 236 of Candid Conversations. We're here today with Julie Sherry, founder and creative director of Allez. Now, that's a French word for those of you wondering. And we're going to get her to talk more about the business right now. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. Hi, David. Thank you for having me. And yes, I'm here to talk more about Allez. My name is Julie. I'm the founder and the creative director. And Allez is a fashion business that I founded about 5 years ago now. And our mission is to aller, which is to go, and to empower people to share a meaningful message of faith. So that is where the name stems from.
Okay, okay. Pushing things forward. How long have you been working on this business?
So I've been working on this business for 5 years now. 5 years. Yeah.
Okay. And what inspired you to begin your pursuits?
Uh, I think the beginning really started with me wanting to impact my community. I knew that I did have creative talents that I could, facilitate that through. So I decided to start a fashion business. I had designs that I wanted to put out, but it wasn't just about the designs. It was about really pushing that message and empowering people to be a positive light for their community.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Now, where are you based out of?
So we're based in Ottawa, Canada.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Canada in general, but we started and we're based in Ottawa, Canada, so the capital city.
All right. All right. Capital moves. Capital
Yeah,
moves. That's
yeah.
awesome. What would you okay, let's talk about travel and tourism a little bit because it has to
Hmm.
do with fashion because different regions wear different
Hmm.
textiles and all that stuff. So what would you say would be a reason for people to come to Ottawa? Like you were championing the travel and tourism campaign. Why come to Ottawa?
Why come to Ottawa for fashion is the question?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. If I don't know if you know, but Ottawa is considered to be more so of a government city. And when people think of fashion in Canada, they usually think Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver, and Ottawa isn't really in the conversation.
Mm,
As much as we are online, like I said, we are based in Ottawa, and I can testify that it is a bit difficult to really push the fashion scene in Ottawa, but it is growing. There are tons of upcoming designers, talents coming out of Ottawa, especially in the fashion space. So I think it's growing. Of course, it's not considered a fashion scene like Montreal or Toronto, but it's definitely growing at the moment.
okay. All right. Um, yeah, it's kind of like that for I want to say the arts, like music in Niagara. Like
Mhm,
it's not really known for this hip hop scene. There is one out here. It's not the biggest, but
mhm.
it's big enough to be recognized. So I can relate to the whole fashion aspect in the sense that it could be a broader market if it had more support kind of thing from its local area. But to get
Mhm.
that support, people got to know that you're there. So
Yeah,
that's why we're here, to let
no,
people know that
exactly.
you're there. All right.
Yeah,
Okay, what's your favorite color?
my favorite color is green.
Green. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Now, is
which
that your favorite color overall, or just is that your favorite color for your materials?
my favorite color overall is green.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, it's also Allez' main color.
Okay.
Um, in terms of for materials, it it really depends what the piece calls for. So I can't say it's my favorite color for materials, but it is in general my favorite color. Yeah.
Just getting to know a little bit of the inner workings of
Yeah.
Julie here. Now, people ask me when I start an instrumental, if I start with a melody or if I start with the drum pattern or what I start with. How do you start your designs or your creations? Do you see the final product and break it down, or do you build it up from little pieces?
Yeah, so I'm also a musician
Okay.
by trade. So similarly to creating pieces, musical pieces, when it comes to creating physical pieces, I see the product, the end product, and work backwards from there. Um,
Or
so yeah, I'm more of a finished product type of person, and then working towards getting there. So
reverse engineering. Okay. All
yeah.
right. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Mm.
I have looked at and again, it's like the amount of different frequencies you can play. There's so many different materials you can use. What
Mhm.
is your favorite textile?
I think it's a tough question. It really depends on the mood and what I'm inspired by at that moment. I could say now I'm really liking corduroy and
Okay.
silk actually. So we actually released not too long ago a silk scarf. Um, so silk is definitely on my mind. It's been on my mind for a little bit.
Okay.
And we do also have a couple corduroy pieces that we've created in the past. But like I said, it really depends what it calls for. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's say you're designing a piece for the early fall. What color are you using and what material are you using?
Yeah. So um it's not an exact science as any art
Okay, okay,
could be. So it really depends what I'm inspired by at the moment. Creating color palettes for either the summer, spring, or the fall, winter. It really depends on um, kind of what we have in mind, especially if we have multiple colors, how they fit together as well. For example, like a
okay,
burgundy, if it fits better with the orange, or does it fit better with navy? So all those questions are things we kind of think through and go through. But like I said, it's not
okay,
an exact a science. We really build from a place of inspiration and intention.
okay,
So we really take our time with that.
okay. With that being said, we're going to take a quick break. This is episode 236 of Candid Conversations, and we're here with Julie Sherry from Allez. And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, I I don't I'm gonna admit I don't know as much as I'd like to know about the fashion, the creation of the fashion aspect. I mean, like I've made my own cloaks. I've haven't made my own. I haven't designed pants though. Like I've had pre-designed pants and painted on them or, put my design on there kind of thing. But the actual assembly of the materials from scratch is an overwhelming process for me. So how would you break that down for someone to understand it better, or
Yeah.
like yeah, understand it better or appreciate it more?
Um, it really depends on the piece specifically. It calls for a different level of craftsmanship, I would say.
Okay.
Um, but since you're a musician, how I could kind of break it down is that um, each section or piece of the clothing, let's say it's um, uh, a sweatshirt. So there's a front part, there's the back part, there's the cufflinks, there's the neckline. So all those are different pieces that need to be kind of assembled and thought about. Kind of like a song where you have I don't know, a drum kit, a piano line, and you're kind of building from there.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
and all of it contributes to the final sound or the final piece. Um, so that's kind of how I could break it down in a way.
Okay.
Um, but
Makes sense.
for us, the creation of our clothing, it's just a part of the overarching story that we're trying to tell for that campaign. So from how our clothing is made to how we shot the campaign, the storytelling behind that, all of that contributes to the story that we're trying to tell.
Yeah. Mm. This is history in the making, ladies and gentlemen. Canadian designer from Ottawa, founding her own company, creating and leading it as a creative director. I've been saying that we need to highlight more of what women are doing in business because it's important to acknowledge their presence. And I'm glad we're doing this, having this conversation right now, because not only are you accomplishing your feats and achieving your goals and driven by your ambition, but I get to continue to show more people that there's positive things happening in our community that we can learn from and develop our own ideas based on the inspirations that we're seeing.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. I agree. I definitely think that there's many women that do deserve that light and that are doing impressive work for the community.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks ago, I spoke to the first woman to own a rap label.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, first Muslim woman. Yeah, Muslim woman to own a rap label, and they did all the fact checking, and it's accurate. So
Wow.
to hear from her plight and what she's accomplished, it's interesting.
Mm.
Like anyone anywhere could hear about what men have done and how blah blah blah. You know what I mean? But like in this day and age, I think we need to talk about things on an equal level. You know what I mean? So more power to you and your accomplishments. I look
Thank
forward to
you.
seeing what you do down the road as well. We still have a few more segments to go, but I've got to give you roses while they're fresh. Um,
Thank you.
if there was something you could say to yourself 10 years ago, what would it be?
Mm. Mm. Probably it would be you're on the track, you're the right track, and just believe in yourself. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Um, coming from Ottawa, I wouldn't say that I grew up with a lot of local examples.
Mm.
So that belief in self to, build something that you might not have seen yet is really important. So I would just tell myself to stay on the right track and to believe in myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's fast forward. What is something you want to say to future you in 10 years?
Um, Congratulations.
There you go. All right. All right.
Yeah.
That, that's well put. Well put. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I like asking questions like that because we step out of the ordinary and we start to reflect and look introspectively on our
Mm-hmm.
accomplishments and our goals and see what we can achieve. It's the best way to achieve a goal is to set one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think when we connect to the people that are goal oriented and driven by ambition, we can further ourselves in so many beneficial ways. I mean, I just recently signed on with the ENA Talent Management. That's a subsidiary entity of Cash Money Records. And I have the opportunity to present artists to the administration as well as give them a chance to display their talents for the viewing audience. So, with their event coming up, the celebration of celebrations, and I know, it's not even Christmas yet. Why are we talking about New Year's? But the celebration of celebrations is going to be an epic thing where
Mhm.
I talk to artists all around the world, creatives, things like that. I mean, like in talking to you, I'm kind of inspired to include like a fashion segment. We could talk about that after the podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm inspired to include a fashion segment where you know what I mean. You know what happens in the fashion world, so you'd be teaching me. But like, I just think that's something that could be included, right? We
Hmm.
have we have a lot of developments occurring. I'm going to say Culture Fest, and that's not till next year, but I'm going to mention it now. Culture Fest. That is something I think you your presence would be very welcome at with the nature of what we I'm developing with Antoinette.
Hmm.
Um, it would definitely be a good thing for you to be involved with, but we're
Is
gonna
this
have to
in
take a quick.
Niagara?
Yes, it's gonna be in Niagara.
Okay.
So, but we're gonna take a quick break and get right back to this conversation. You'll have to bear with me as I look for this thing. Um, yeah, and we will be right back. All right. So, uh, okay, so yeah, Culture Fest is going to be in Niagara. We're still working on locations, etc. I know where I want to have it, but I know if I say it too loud, too soon, you know how bad mine work. So let me just hold those cards to my chest. But it's gonna be an interesting blend of culture and creativity. We'll say that. We'll
Okay.
say that. Yeah. But the celebration of celebrations, that is our fifth annual event.
Hmm.
It's going to feature creatives from around the world, some business owners, artists, hopefully creative directors of in the fashion world. But basically they get a segment of time to showcase their talent, and then we celebrate them celebrating the new year. it's basically what it sounds like. The celebration of celebrations. We're
Mm-hmm.
celebrating people who are celebrating. It's it's kind of fun, you know. In the mainstream media, they like to show people with their conflicts and their complications. Over here on the internet, we know it's real. So that was something that we started 5 years ago and has been building up ever since. Uh, there's going to be the location this year might be different than it's been for the last 4 years. And if it is, it's going to be a whole different caliber of a podcast. So that's just
Mm.
my little plug right there for what I'm
Yeah.
doing. You know. But LA, you're an online store. What's your website?
So you can find us at allezbrand.com. So ALLEZBRAND.com. And same thing for socials, Allez Brand.
Hmm. You know what I like? The fact that all of your socials are the same.
Yeah.
I can't count how many times I've been on here and I've heard people say, my this is this, my this is that, my that is the next. And I'm not knocking them because, you know, they might not have known how important it is to brand your stuff.
Yeah.
I know myself, I have my Instagram is the block online and share the shock and exposing the North. And then I have my website, which is sharetheshock.ca. And then I got, you know, other websites that I work with like xrpradio.co.uk where you can catch hosting under Insanity and soon the Insanity Effect, which is a hybrid show with me and driving under Insanity, playing music from independent artists around the world, um, and all of those other ones, right? If I had known, just stick with the one, it would have been so much easier for me
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
because, and other people have it. So what's the key to branding? What are the three main points of branding that people might overlook?
Um, to start, I would say you have to have a purpose or a story
Mm,
that you're trying to
okay.
convey. Whenever I go on a brand's page, I am immediately from their page, I could tell what they're selling, what their story is, what their aesthetic is. All of that to me um, is part of branding, but it's also part of the your purpose or the story you're trying to tell. Secondly,
Okay.
I would definitely say accessibility. So making your brand accessible, just like the example you said of having all the same handle for all your social media and your website.
Mhm.
That's like a little way of making it accessible, also making it memorable. So those two things are definitely um, like the main things I would say for branding. You need to have a purpose, a meaning that people can cling on to. And secondly, you
Mhm.
need to make it accessible, where people can access your material, access your products, um, access your website, all of that easily. So, yeah,
Okay.
those,
It all makes sense.
yeah.
All makes sense. Okay. What is your go-to social media? Uh,
My preferred is Instagram. Instagram is
okay.
still my preferred. I do kind of like the quality of the content there. In terms of, I see mostly creatives like the photographers, for example, that take editorial photos. A little bit more of the high end kind of branding is on Instagram versus
Okay.
TikTok. is more like everyday type of content. So for
Okay.
myself, I do love Instagram for that.
Mm. All right. Now, uh, how do you advertise?
Yeah. So we advertise by obviously the social media as well.
Mhm.
Going to uh, markets, different in-person events, doing podcasts like these also help
Mhm.
with advertising. But those are our three main ways of advertising.
Okay. It- something else to talk about after the podcast. Um, I'm just thinking about all that. What would you say your crowning achievement has been to this date, or to this point?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
What would you say your crowning achievement has been to this point in your career?
Um, I would say the fact that um, we've started and that we're continuing to produce several campaigns. I think that would definitely be crowning um, the crowning achievement. I could definitely say a campaign in particular, but I do want to highlight that in this day and age, it's it's difficult, yes, to start a business, but for those that are continue to keep investing in themselves, investing in their business, and pushing things forward, I think that is also um, honorable and not necessarily common. Most businesses do fail in their first couple of years. So I would say our crowning achievement is definitely the fact that we're still going.
Awesome. And we'll still be going after this commercial break. All right, we are back, and this is where I get to have fun. We are going to do a segment called Flip the Script. Now, when I flip the script, I give the guest the opportunity to be the host and say whatever they want to say or ask any questions they may have to ask. So the floor is yours, Julie, as I flip the script.
Okay. Um, I would want to know how long has these podcasts been going on? How long have you been podcasting for?
In total, I've been podcasting for about 11 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This podcast specifically is about 4, 5 years, no, 3, 4 years, and then the podcast I do on Saturdays is in its ninth year.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So you've been at it for
Mm.
quite some time.
Yeah, I got like 20,000 plus watch hours on YouTube. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Oh,
in terms of your interviewees, are they just Canadian or around the world as well?
it's global. It's a global client base that I reach out to. I've interviewed people in Guadeloupe. Um, that's a French island in the Caribbean. I've interviewed people, a lot of people from North America, a good number of people from America specifically. But I started this because Niagara needed an outlet for their artists, and
Hmm.
then I ended up expanding it to as far as where did I read? I think yeah, somewhere in Europe. Yeah, so I know that we're syndicated as well. So we have listeners in 193 plus countries.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah. So I try to be humble, but it's a big deal,
Hmm.
like a giant pickle.
Yeah.
But forgive my corniness. Oh man. So yeah, that's the gist of it.
Yeah. In
Mhm,
terms of advice, maybe that you
mhm.
would give to artists, to creatives, since you interviewed so many, what's maybe like a common thread or advice you would give?
Confidence. Confidence is very important, and it's it's one of those things that I see a lot of when I'm interviewing
Hmm.
because I like to believe I know how to talk to people. But in the day-to-day world, some people might need a little bit more to get through certain situations or to get past certain obstacles. I was just talking to my wife's son, stepson, whatever, and I said to him, like, you have to know what you want to do and believe yourself to be capable of it. And you have to look past what anybody else says. As long as you know you're doing what you need to do for you and you're not hurting anybody else, stick to your guns and make sure they're still firing. Because at the end of the day, you are your only artillery. So, it's it would be a nicer world if people judged you based on your ambition, or people not even judged you based on your ambition, but appreciated you based on your ambition, but it's not always the case.
Yeah, agreed. I think
Hmm.
the judgment usually comes afterwards on the outcome.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you can say like my biggest thing is I mean, when I was 12 years old, my teacher basically accosted me in front of the class and asked me what I was going to do when it came to the working world. And I said, I'm going to own my own business. And she laughed at me. I was like 12 years old at the time.
Hmm.
I'm sitting here and I'm just like, well, this is amazing. Like you're supposed to be a support system for me and this is how you're treating me. Okay, cool. My business right now, Expose the North, has won two awards for two awards for by the Reader's Choice. So two Reader's Choice awards, which means that a body of people who see and know what I'm doing appreciate it enough to acknowledge me and recognize my capacity.
Hmm.
I think I'll take that body of people over that one person, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just one of those things.
Oh,
Okay, okay, there we go. Yeah. So yeah, that would be advice. And that what else? Oh man. There's so much advice that I would give, but that would be the first one. Like believe in yourself and believe your goals to be reachable. Set reachable goals and believe in yourself. Like you
hmm.
can believe beyond belief, but set reachable goals and believe they're possible. And a reachable goal could be something as simple as getting a cup of coffee. Well, once you get that cup of coffee, set a higher goal. You know what I mean? You know, find a winning scratch ticket or something. Set a higher goal than that. Find an opportunity for your career opportunity that'll facilitate the resources you require to establish yourself. These are all reachable goals. It's just so you have to believe them to be reachable.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh, that's totally
Oh
right.
man, yeah. I have this one song that goes. Oh, it starts with I like the states of facts. If you say you rap, listen to how you can make paper stacks. It takes marketing and heart iron, determination with pride strong as lions. Stay focused on your goals. It's best to avoid critics' verbal obstacles. Believe you're unstoppable. Seek wisdom and guidance before you lock and load. And it
Wow.
goes on down. thank you. It goes on down that line of like how you can actually and I say rap, but you can replace rap with any other word, any other
Mhm.
career. You
Mhm.
need all of those things in order to be successful. And it's like I've laid a blueprint for people, but because it's positive music, not even
Mhm.
positive music, because it's positive music, right? They don't gravitate to it as much as they would like Get the Strap by 50 Cent.
Mhm.
Because you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna lie, that song has a dope beat and I've freestyled over it a couple of times. I might have to revisit it. But the point I'm trying to make is people are being bred to appreciate ignorance, and the level that it's reached right now is absurd.
No,
That's
I agree.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we will get right back to the last segment just after this short break. All right, and we are back. Oh
Am
man,
I flipping
it's
the
been a
script
good
back to you?
yes, yes. I have to take the script back for the last segment because I got to do some promotional things. But let's let you start out. Who would you like to thank for supporting you in these times to accomplish these goals?
I would definitely like to thank God, really thank God for um, being my source of hope and inspiration. Sometimes things can be difficult. There are highs and lows with anything, but especially in business. So I would definitely thank God for sustaining me through all those seasons. Yeah,
That's a humbling appreciation.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like that. I like that. Okay. Um. Okay. I Whenever I talk about the things that I do, I feel like I'm not gloating. Okay. I'm appreciating the bounty that has been put before me by the Most High
Mhm.
because I started these podcasts talking to myself in the basement, and I know I wasn't talking to myself, but we'll just you know what I
Yeah.
mean. So I'll say I started these podcasts talking in my basement, and now I haven't been all over the world, but I've been all over the region. I've been all over the province talking to people, and it's interesting to know what can develop from a conversation. So I
Mhm.
got to shout out the likes of the POE who does a podcast called Me and the Boys Wrestling every Monday at 7 p.m. on youtube.com/@ POEZ. You can find yours truly with the POE and Driving Under Insanity and our commentary hijinks on Me and the Boys Wrestling every Monday. Speaking of commentary and hijinks, the Canadian Wrestling Federation has signed us on as their commentators. So catch your boys at the NWX tapings coming up in the next few months. Also, Haunt Manor has begun. If you want to see some of the scariest and most entertaining actors and demons in the Niagara region, you come down to Camp Park Resorts, check out Haunt Manor. Also, we have Zeno.fm/Culture Shock Radio, YouTube.com/ at EXPOSETHENORTH. Then you got to check out sharetheshock.ca. And when you're done there, check out magazine.sharetheshock.ca. Because if you haven't gathered from the last 3 minutes of me talking, we got a lot going on. Just saying. Just saying. It's not a bragging thing. It's a real thing. It's just what we do. So now, um, Julie,
Yes.
What is your goal for the next year? Like 365 days from now, what do you want to accomplish?
I would have definitely wanted to release a few campaigns. We have
Okay.
our fall campaign coming out in a few weeks.
Hmm.
Um, Definitely increased our reach Canada-wide and worldwide, as well as a few collaborations with different creatives from Canada and around the world as well. So those are the three things I would want to achieve in the next year or so.
Right. And all reachable goals.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. For what it's worth, I know we just met, but I'm proud of you for sticking to your goals, accomplishing your feats. You know what I mean? Like we had this conversation and it's a great conversation. I appreciate the time and energy you put into this. It's not easy doing what you do. It's I like I said, I commend you for overcoming the obstacles and just charging forward. I welcome you to participate in the Culture Fest. Also want to talk to you about the celebration of celebrations because I have an idea that I think will help you and will help me, which will in turn help the communities we serve.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
thank you. Thank you so much, David, for having me and your kind words. Likewise, this interview was great, and I hope that your community definitely finds a few nuggets here and there, and that they can use and apply to whatever their endeavors are. So thank you again for your time.
No problem. No problem. Um, is there anyone else you wanted to shout out? Any businesses you work with that you wanted to plug quickly before we go?
Uh, at the moment, nothing comes top of mind. But
Okay.
if anything, I will go into the comments of this podcast and see if I can shout a few out.
All right. Cool. Cool. So then let's wrap it up. I want to say thank you again because this is a unique experience every time. I never know who's on the other end of the camera or the line, and I'm always looking forward to learning something from them. So I appreciate your character and your creativity as they are coupled hand in hand.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you.
yes. So for Julie Sherry, this is David the Block Terrell saying it takes nothing to be nice. It's just hard to figure out who to be nice to. That being said, at least be nice to yourself, and we will talk again. Bless up, block out. Please stay with us, and we will carry on our conversation after.